Welcome back to another episode of Casey's Garage, and today we're taking Big Red and we're going to go to the pick and pull and get some parts for the 2013 Ford Focus, as well as another vehicle I just picked up on trade-in for the Kia Sorento, and I'll show you that as we go out and get some parts. So let's get this whole truck here fired up and hit the road.
3, 2, 1.
I am sweating like a pig. Here's a sock. I just said he and then it's she, but whatever. I do want to kind of spruce it up a little bit. Alright guys, so I think I found what's wrong with the radio. I'm about to head out to the salvage yard and thought I'd come out and just kind of take a look at this real quick and make sure we go out for the right stuff. And I checked all the fuses to the radio, everything's fine. I went ahead and pulled this trim off of here. And there's our problem with the radio right there, guys. It's missing it. So, you know, I think I might have one. I don't know if it'll work for this car, but it came out of that 2014 Fusion we rebuilt. That was a theft recovery. I found one in the trunk, so it's probably no good. But I'm going to go see if I can find it and throw it in there and see if that'll work. And if not, then we'll pick one up at the salvage yard. All right, guys, so there is our radio. I've had this for a couple of years now. It's in the trunk of that Fusion. And I don't know if it'll mount properly, though. I don't know. Let's just test it and see if it works. I actually plugged in fine. I'm not sure if it'll mount like it needs to mount. And, of course, we're missing all the screws that hold it in, too, so. It works. Holy moly. Let's see. Holy crap.
Defender's office in Wyandotte.
It actually works. Unbelievable. Is there a CD in that? No CD. So that's so if I can get this to work and mount up there, that player actually works. Holy moly. Okay, let me see what I can do. Well, guys, unfortunately, I don't think this radio is going to work. Must be a little bit different than the one that actually goes in here. Here's a picture of one that I found online, and you can tell that bracket on the top is a little bit different. So I don't know if I'd be able to just replace the bracket and it'd fit or what, but we may just have to pull a whole nother radio. But at least we know now that it's not a fuse or anything else, that it is indeed the radio. Also, guys, while I was at it, went ahead and I thought I'd check the sensor over here for the airbag. And so I took the airbox out of the way because this cord or this wire was tucked down below where I couldn't reach it. But anyhow, right here, where eventually my finger's going to be, right there. Wait a minute. Yeah. There. Right here is where there should be a sensor, and it's missing. And one of the first things I do before we hit the road to go pick up anything is just check all the fluids. I've already checked the oil. It looks good. Our coolant looks good. I do need to change this serpentine belt one of these days before it breaks on us. But yeah, so let's go ahead and fire it up and get going. Now, it has been sitting for, I think, at least a week, and it's been pretty cold. Today is a very nice day, but it should fire right up, though. Let those glow plugs warm up, and it looks like they are done. So here we go. All right. Of course, we don't have an exhaust on this truck yet. That is in the works one of these days. But Yeah, it looks good. So I'll let this warm up a little bit, and then we'll get in and get going. All right, guys, so we made it out here at the junkyard, or salvage yard. And right here is the first car that we're gonna pull a part off of, which this one is a 2004 Corolla. And what I have, and I haven't showed you guys yet, is a 2007 that I received on trade-in for that Kia Sorento. The main thing I'm looking for is this door right here. Now, looking at the paint code here, the paint code for this car is 1C8, and the car that I have is 1C7. So looks like the silver might be just slightly different, but this is the only silver car that I can find in the area. So we may just grab this door, and hopefully it's close enough. If not, we'll have to maybe paint it, but looks like the door is in great shape though. I don't see any damage. Doesn't look too bad. I think we'll have to probably pull the tent off the window because I'm pretty sure the one we have is not tinted. That's not a big deal. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this door. And guys, I'm looking for somewhere to put the camera. Maybe I'll just have to lay it on the ground right here. I can do that. All right, and I'll show you here what we're doing. So I took the bolt out here, which take that little hinge off. Now so you take two bolts out up on top here, and then on the other side you can get the other hinge down there, and this whole door should be right off. That wasn't so bad, so I don't know how I'm gonna get this up front. I'll probably take my tools back up and come back and get this door in a second because I could not find a cart. So, and we need to come back and get some more parts. So let's go ahead and just pack up, maybe get this door up front and come back out. All right, guys, so now we're looking for parts for the Focus. The 2013 Focus we just picked up, which is our third one. And one of the things I need, actually, is a radio. The only problem is this has been sitting here with the doors open. So I may pick that up. But I'm gonna look and see if we can find something else first. I do need one of these air vents, the driver's side one. Do this one right here because ours is broke. Again, that one's kind of messed up. So let's go to a different car and see what we can find. Because there's a white one right down here. In fact, I think there's a couple of them. Crash. Here we go. What's this one? Also a 2012, so that should work though. And everything's missing out of that. Must be popular for the radios to go bad because they're always missing out of these Focuses. What about, it's a Fiesta. Oh, here we go, black one. This is the 2014 aftermarket keyless entry, whatever you want to call it. I think that's aftermarket. Doesn't look stock. Oh, this one's got a nice, that's a titanium. Uh-oh, should we do a seat upgrade again? Oh, it's so tempting. That was fun. Got the back seat too. Oh man, it is tempting to do a seat upgrade. I don't know though, because I think the gray Focus is a budget car. Oh gosh, it's so tempting to get these seats though. I'll think about it. I don't think I'm going to, but we'll think about it. Oh, there's where the amp goes. I was always wondering. Oh, this isn't a titanium. It's an SE. Backup camera. Looks aftermarket. But, golly, they upgrade the radio on this. Well, the vent's the same. Well, is it the same? I'll have to compare the vent. I think that looks different. Probably is because that has a radio in here. I think the radio's in there though. I doubt it's the same though, because with the amp it's going to have different connectors. Oh man, tempting on these seats though. Very tempting. Well guys, this is the only one with a radio in it. That should work with our car. I just don't know how I feel about it just sitting in the seat with the doors open. I don't think it's really that wet inside. Yeah, I don't think it's that wet inside, so maybe it hasn't set too long. Well, we'll grab it, and I guess if it doesn't work, I think they do have a return policy. We'll just have to bring it back. So we'll grab it. Well, the good news is the air vents actually are the same, so I need to get my star bits and or torque bits. I call them star bits sometimes, and take that one off. All right, so I've got the radio loose here, and I think it's actually the same radio we got out of that other car. So let's see. Yeah, part numbers is, well, except for that says KF at the end. But it's probably just because that was manufactured in 13 and this was in 11. But it looks like, to me, it's the exact same radio. So I am going to grab the one that's installed and not this one, just to be on the safe side. And I was thinking about grabbing these seats, but now I'm kind of thinking no, because let's see, because the seats we have are actually, they're cloth, but they're heated. These are not, so we're gonna leave them. All right, guys, we are running out of time. Oh wow! Look at ooh. Wow, that Focus. Let me zoom out here. There we go. Holy moly, guys! Airbags are out. The passenger side. Wow, the passenger seat is in the driver's seat, guys. Man, I hope whoever was in here was okay. Wow, that's sad. All right, well, I need to move on. I'm just looking for a mirror, which is why I came up to this one, and it is already gone, so, well, it's broken. All right. Well, we are back here at the garage, and we're going to go ahead and start getting this stuff installed into the Focus. We got our radio, airbag sensor. I don't know if this will fit the car or not, but a washer fluid cap, an air vent, and a mirror. So we'll start getting that back in the car. But before we do, I want to try something that I've seen on other YouTube channels about these transmissions having a bad ground, which can cause a lot of issues. And the reason being is right here is the main ground for pretty much everything under the hood. And the only thing grounding it is the threads the bolt goes into. I am going to see if we can get a better ground on this and just kind of see what happens. And I might go ahead and do some things down there too. So what we're going to do is use a Dremel tool or some sandpaper. I don't know if my Dremel tool works. And just sand down the paint on those little brackets on the body and get some dielectric grease and see if it makes a difference or not on the shifting. And according to my research, the reason why there could be issues with shifting on this is because this car is a dual clutch and there's 2 or 3 little electronic motors that shift your gears that draws a lot of ampage. And if you're not getting a good ground, it doesn't allow those motors to get the power they need, and it can cause some issues. So, all right, so I'm going to use a 13 millimeter deep socket right there. And up here. Oh, man. There it goes. There we go. Yeah, so there's like nothing for it to really ground on. So let's get the Dremel tool, sand her down just a little bit here. That looks good. Now we're just going to use some of this dielectric, close. Now we're just going to use some of this dielectric grease by CRC. Kind of an interesting container. Let's see here. That does. Okay, yeah, that came out fast. That's a little much. Don't need that much. That's all right. Where my thingy go? Put some on this too. There we go. Thing back on there. Where's my screw at? Well, that's a little much, but at least we didn't go get skimpy on it. There we go. All right. There we go. Looks pretty good. Now there's a couple more spots down here I'd like to do as well. All right, so there's a couple more grounding points right down here. I'm going to do the same thing. All right, while we're in here, I know you guys have the wrong angle, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the airbag sensor in that we're missing. Make sure we didn't do it right. Looks like goes in like that. It should reset itself here. I know it's doing the self-learning once we go for the first drive. Okay, so let's see. So let me zoom out here. So right there, guys, is our airbag sensor that was missing on the car. We got it in place. So now, hopefully the airbag light will go off once we get everything reconnected. All right, so now we'll go ahead and do the time lapse, putting all this stuff back together. All right, so yeah, we got everything put back together. This just cracks me up. Guys, check this out. So these washer fluid caps are known to crack and break on these cars. And so instead of buying a new one, whoever owned this car stuck a Spanish, olives, took a cap to an olive jar and duct taped it on there. I don't know if this one will fit or not. I just found this laying at the auction, or not the auction, the salvage yard. And it doesn't. So we'll buy a new one. They're like $7. We'll buy a new one when we go to the parts store next time. I just thought that was funny. All right, so let's go ahead and get this interior put back together. First thing I need to do is remove this radio that I just temporarily put in there. That came out of that Fusion. So let me disconnect the cords in the back and pull it out. So now we just have to plug in the new one here. And there's no way to set my phone down, so hang on 1 second. All right. And that's right where it needs to go. So now it's going to get a couple screws, and then we can put all the plastics back on. Actually, before we put it all back together, let's make sure this radio works. Yeah, so we got a little problem. If we can get to focus. The radio we just bought, it works, but the volume will not go up and down. So when you turn it on, it's on pretty loud and you can't adjust it. Doesn't matter if you use the knob or the steering wheel controls. Neither one will adjust the radio. When I put the old one in, of course this didn't come with the car, but it was one I had laying around out of a Fusion. It worked fine. It just, the bracket's a little bit different on top that holds it into the car. So I may mess with it here just a little bit and see if I can make it work. If not, then we'll probably have to go back to the junkyard and grab another. All right, guys, so I want to show you what I'm up to here. This is the radio that I had. I took the screws out, pulled the top off. This is the radio we just got at the salvage yard. Same thing. However, the casing is a little bit different. So it's not going to be a easy little just swap over the top piece and call it a day, even though it's close. So what we're going to do is I'm going to drill out these rivets and see if we can switch these brackets over, and then that should do the trick, I would think. So let's find out. My workbench is getting smaller by the minute. All right. And you guys can't see what I'm doing. go. One. There's two. There it goes. We're making our own radio today, guys. There it goes. Alright, so now we gotta do the same thing with this one. That's the right one. Yep, that's the one we want. So that goes on there pretty good. Alright guys, so these top plates are a little bit different from each other. The rivet holes don't line up. So what I did is I took the one off of here, which is our salvage yard one, and laid it over the top of the one we're trying to get fitted into the car. And then I marked the holes right there with a Sharpie that we're going to drill out, and then see if we can reattach the bracket. Punch them. Punch them, punch them. Bend this thing. Oops. Bend it. Make sure my fingers not underneath there. Here. And that's gonna go in the new holes right there. Punch them. Punch them, punch them. Make sure my fingers not underneath there. And that's gonna go in the new holes right there. Put this back up on here. All right, guys, so it looks like it all fits. Let's go ahead and turn the key. And let's just make sure it all works. Yeah. Radio, we got lights, menu. See, before we did even get this, we got the clock video and that was it. So serious update. No, not right now. So yeah, it looks like everything's working on this radio. Phone. Of course, we don't have anything connected to it. And all right, sweet. So what we're gonna do now is probably just go for a little drive and see if the transmission shifts better. Maybe we'll hit the car wash while we're at it. All right, guys, we got a plate on the back. Let's go ahead and start it up. I guess we'll see if the airbag light goes out for one. Here we go, or that ought to blow up my face. Here we go. Oh, it already went out. Already went out. So we'll shut that off since we're gonna go for a little ride. Let's turn on the heat. It is freaking cold out there. Turn on the heated seats too. All right, let's go to the car wash. Here we go. Well, folks, I don't want to jinx anything and speak too early here, but so far, it is shifting really good. Like, really good. So, hopefully it'll keep it up. I'm going to drive it a few more miles and just to make sure, but fingers crossed, I think well, hopefully we fix the issue. And then we could go back and finish buttoning it up, putting it back together. Well, guys, I drove it around for probably 20, 30 minutes. Did some city driving, highway driving, and so far, it's driving great. So hopefully the little trick works long term on sanding down the paint on those ground points. I'll keep driving it for the next several days, and if anything changes, I'll let you guys know. We're not done with the car. We still need to put the rocker panel cover on, replace that side mirror, and of course get it detailed. But, and in the next video, I'll show you the Toyota Corolla that we got the door for, and we'll go ahead and start working on it as well. But thanks for tuning in to today's video on Casey's Garage, and we'll catch you next time.